Hello and welcome. Thank you very much for taking the time to check out this code introductory video for the code sample attached in the description below. Basically, this code was developed for the Thoughtful Game Jam 2024, in which I won first place as a solo developer. The project was built on top of the Lyra sample project, as I wanted to take advantage of some of the newer Unreal Engine 5 features, such as gameplay ability systems, ability sets, the enhanced input system, etc. But most importantly, the game feature structure, so that I could develop the card logic attached below in a modular fashion, so I can easily attach it to any game jams I develop in the future. As I had 3 weeks to develop this project, I could take my time to ensure there was good structure, good code, and good notes that will hopefully come in use for you navigating the code. Let's have a quick look at the result of the project. Here we have the main menu, where we are able to see a list of any gameplay features that are utilizing the card logic I developed. Currently only one. So if we open this up, we're taken to the gameplay area, where basically we have all the cards listed in our hand below with descriptions. We can use them either as an action card, like so, or we can use them as cards that can be placed as 3D cards onto the level itself. The goal of the game is to find items that will combine with each other, such as the basket here, so that we can improve our base here over time. It is a little bit of a race against time, as every game needs a challenge. If you look up the top left here, we have hunger, which is depleting every single night we sleep. And after several nights, our base will start to be attacked by animals as well. So it will be very important for us to build fires, to protect ourselves from exposure, as well as weapons to, of course, attack any invading beasts. There is a win condition, so if you're able to build up a base completely before running out of health, you will win the game. I do hope you can check it out. I'm quite proud of it. It works very smoothly, has a lot of features, considering it was all done in a 3-week period. Personally, I'm a big fan of data organization applications like Excalidraw here, because it just makes it really easy to keep a framework and state of the current project easily accessible and understood for both myself for quick recall, as well as communication with other engineers. So today, while we do have several other proposed game features that I'm probably going to develop in the future, today we're going to be focused specifically on the K cards game feature that is being utilized by the K_47 arena game feature, which is our main gameplay area. We also have the lobby here, and both of those, of course, are pulling from some of the base code that is provided by Lyra. Also, the K user interface game feature here was also developed for use in this game jam. Basically, everything that is in the description below is just the C++ code, but if you would like to get a hold of the project itself, so you can view both the blueprints, implementation of logic, as well as everything in C++, please feel free to reach out to me and let me know, and I'll try to pass that along. Next, let's have a look at the editor. If we look on the left, we have a very clean folder structure. I'm always very careful to name folders and files very cautiously. The technical debt is real. Looking at the K_47 arena here, as I said earlier, this is actually the main user-facing experience where the majority of the gameplay is had. So this is where you'll find the map, as well as the data tables that are used to populate the actual card objects themselves that are managed under the K_cards game feature. Let's now look at the K_cards game feature. In the AIA folder, of course, we have all the behavior tree logic and custom tasks. Under card, we have the card object and the 3D card itself, while the UI representation of the card object is actually found under the widgets card folder, with the W_card being the main user-facing widget. After that, we have the gameplay effects folder, which is where the majority of our custom calculations are being done for interaction with the ability the attribute set that is set up for interaction with our gameplay ability system. All of which abilities you'll find here under input abilities, with everything. Let's take a random one here, with carefully comprised comments for myself and hopefully to assist you with navigating the functionality of the project. Moving past the gameplay abilities, we have the custom materials that were used for both the placement boards in the game and the UI elements. I spent some time on that, so there's some custom effects happening there with a little bit of a wavy pixel effect if you look closely at the live bar in the top left. Other than that, we have the system folder, player folder here, where we have the player state, player specific logic, and then the general game state, game logic, including the card manager and the turn manager here under system. If you're wanting to see how the lobby itself is set up, so I can quickly accommodate additional user experiences such as K_47 in the future, please have a look under K_Setchi lobby, where you can see it's very, very easy to just make new experiences accessible through the menu experience list. If you're interested in seeing how I set up my custom buttons with their custom effects, please go under K_user interface, where you can see where basic button is set up, its widgets and whatnot. The material functions that are being used for things such as the button effect, they're all accessible and viewable here, so please help yourself. I also just wanted to make a special note looking at the naming of the gameplay abilities here. I was very cautious to help just ease of navigation. First stating whether the logic is related to the card itself, the deck in general, or possibly the cards that are being displayed in your hand as part of the UI. So it's very easy to find first where the card is located for its logic, and then what it's actually doing directly after that. For example, discarding the entire card hand here, or maybe when we're actually releasing the UI card and wanting to place it into the world, we're doing the placement logic here, for example. So yes, hopefully that is very useful. Moving on to the Rider IDE here. Again, I've been very careful with both folder naming and file naming, so it's very easy to locate what you're looking for. Let's have a quick look at the overall structure here. So we have the UI, custom attribute set connected widgets that are being bound to the editor here. We've got all of our turn manager logic, selection manager logic, game instance, etc., as well as debugging functions here. We've got all of our attribute set data connections here. We've got all the custom card logic here, including very detailed card object setup and how it is populated from the front end. We've got all our custom AI tasks here, as well as services that are looping through the player deck, and then all of the custom-made attribute set calculations, so we can have that wonderful instantaneous displaying of updated attributes on the UI, both on the UI and on a 3D card in the world, which is fantastic. As another quick side note, I just wanted to draw attention to the fact that I always try to put useful notes throughout the project, as much for myself as anyone else, so I can come back and understand my logic after several months of being away from it. But hopefully you'll find that very useful. But of course, if you have any other recommendations on even better practices, please let me know. I always try to structure my comments so that I can understand what the intention of the code is, rather than what it is actually currently doing. But yes, thank you so much for having a look at this video. I hope you have time to look at the code itself, hopefully play the game, and please let me know what you think, either below on itch.io or by sending me a DM. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Please take care. Just some quick caveats as well. This was developed over a 3-week period, and I was learning how to build a card game for the first time, especially using data tables this extensively. So please be generous with your code review, and yes, please let me know if there's any way you think it can be improved. Thank you.